The House Intel Committee vote could be as early as Monday to publicly release that bombshell memo on the Russia investigation, or at least that's what we understand. It's a bombshell memo. Republicans who've read it say it suggests serious surveillance abuses by top members of the FBI and the Justice Department. President Trump would have to okay the memo's release, and the DOJ is fighting hard to prevent that. Let's bring in Wall Street Journal's Kimberly Strassel, Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, a member of the House Judiciary Committee, and Bill Gavin, a former assistant director of the FBI's New York office. Great to see all of you. Let's start with you, Congressman Gaetz. I talked to one of your colleagues earlier this evening, and he said the following, a Republican. He's a senior House member. He said, "I'd be careful in hyping the contents of this memo." He said, "I think some of my colleagues are overselling what's in it. This is not the smoking gun that's going to stop the Mueller investigation. And I think they're building up people's expectations to a ridiculously high extent." I heard that, and this is someone I really respect, and it made me nervous, Congressman.
I would say that the memo has to be evaluated in the context of all the other stunning information that we've learned. Everything from Andrew McCabe's emails saying that there would be a headquarters special and a pro-Hillary bias, to all the other text messages between Lisa Page and Peter Strzok that show a real hatred for Donald Trump, and not only a bias, but an intent to act on that bias in a way that would undermine his presidency. And so I think, yes, the memo in and of itself doesn't tell the full story, but in the context of everything else we've learned, I think it shows us that the Mueller probe is rotten to the core, built on a rotten foundation.
Kimberly, I want to go to you into the issue of the dossier, which I think the Democrats have tried to kind of push off to the side. It looks like this was used multiple times in order to justify the ongoing surveillance of the Trump campaign and then maybe going forward. What does the public really need to understand about this? Because I think some people hear dossier and they think, oh, the Republicans are into their conspiracy theories and it's just too much for me to comprehend right now. But what on a Friday night can we tell the viewing public about why that particular issue is so important?
Well, it has been reported that it was used, and hopefully this memo will confirm whether or not that's true. But here's why this matters. If that is indeed in the memo, Laura, then that in itself is a modern-day political scandal that is nearly unrivaled. Because what you are fundamentally saying is that there was a campaign document that was paid for and produced by one presidential campaign, and the FBI used it as a justification to spy on a rival political campaign. And I don't care what your political affiliation is, you should be terrified that something like that could happen. And that bar needs to be set. This in itself is a terrifying idea, because you already seeing people that keep moving the goalposts in this about what counts as shocking or what counts as scandalous. This just needs to be viewed as bad in and of itself if that's the case.
Well, let's move on to the effect that this might have had on the morale at the FBI. We've been hearing a lot from Democrats, who usually are big critics of law enforcement, especially on the state level, who say, well, the scrutiny of the FBI and this relentless criticism is going to hurt FBI retention, and it's going to shake the public's confidence in this institution. Mr. Gavin, you're an FBI veteran. Your view on that?
Those kinds of things are stated, Laura, simply to further their own cause and their own belief. The bottom line is the fine men and women of the FBI will go on doing their job day after day and do it in a superior manner. Their badges are not tarnished by the actions of somebody else. Their badges are as shiny as ever. The only badges tarnished out of this whole thing are the badges of the people that performed in a horrible manner, if in fact that's provable. And I go back to what Kim said, this whole thing of the problem with the predication for the application for a FISA warrant. If that's a problem, when it appears that it probably is, that's atrocious, because it puts in jeopardy future FISA warrants going before FISA judges and courts. And that's going to be a real problem.
Mr. Gavin, it makes it all seem political. This is supposed to be an agency getting to the truth, balls and strikes, objective. We start using the FBI for political hit jobs. and then, all bets are off. And that to me is really disturbing. I mean, I lived in the old Soviet Union as a student. That's what they did there. And so they like to call Trump a little dictator, and he's a dictator, he's an autocrat. I find this to be much closer to police state tactics than anything they've accused him of. And Congressman, I'm going to go back to you on this. The fact that we still have agents working and investigators, lawyers working in this investigation with such clear, at least the appearance of a conflict and a conflict of interest, appearance of partisanship and animus toward the president, after everything we've learned, is stunning. Whether it's Jeannie Rhee or whether it's Andrew Weissman or any of these other people, that they're still in the investigation. That's amazing.
Well, and one of the things I can say about this intelligence memo is that names are named. And so we're going to be able to see who is engaged in conduct that has shocked me and so many of my colleagues in the Congress. And I think that the result of all of this should be bipartisan legislation to actually reform these processes so that you don't have these folks sticking around after bad acts. You've got more oversight, more transparency, and then we can restore confidence in the FBI and Department of Justice. Look, we don't enjoy beating up on these entities that are essential to preserve our democracy. We just want to see them work for the American people, not for the interests of a political party that's trying to do a hatchet job on someone who's been elected president of the United States.
And Kimberly, before we let you go, the move to focus on whether Trump was itching to fire Mueller or said something, whether he was frustrated, and McGahn said, "You do that, I'm out." I'm not. I think the White House is maybe disputing that. It's unclear. The president's back from Switzerland now. But to me, that doesn't surprise me. If the president truly feels like it's an unjust investigation, and then investigators who are working on it are themselves biased or Clinton or Obama loyalists, I'd be frustrated too. I wouldn't move to fire him, but I'd be frustrated.
Well, there's no crime in asking questions, too. And in the confidence of your inner circle, raising questions about whether or not there are conflicts, whether or not there is bias, and whether or not that is a cause for any sort of action. The important thing is he didn't take action in the end. And so now we've spent 2 days talking about a thought that went through President Trump's head. And we keep hearing from critics of the president that the right or conservatives engage in diversionary tactics. I think there ought to be a little bit of self-reflection there, because the discussion we're having at the moment is what happened in 2016 in terms of the FBI. The Mueller investigation continues unimpeded, and now we need a little bit of truth within that agency and the Department of Justice.